Alright, back for round 2. This is an interesting little hand. Doesn't do much. Not off the bat. I mean, it's basically turn 4 land course at Portal, hope to win off it. I'm going to try it. I'm on the play. So, I mean, I do have that first turn just getting out there advantage. I get a turn 2 Mesmeric Fiend to disrupt, so there's nothing wrong with that. Have to figure it out as we go along, of course. So we beat our blue-black control-ish, tempo-ish opponent last game. Even though I misplayed, I was still able to pull it out, so that was good. I'm gonna go Plains Mesmeric Fiend. What you got? Alright, this is actual blue-black control. We're gonna take his power sink, leaving him with Island, Swamp, Scourge Familiar, and Expunge, which does very little against me. So, it's a pretty solid hand to have left him with since I took away his power sink, so works out nicely for me. So he played one of the swamps, so I'll remove it off of there in just a moment. It's a land which doesn't really do me much, so we're just going to get in for 1. Then next turn run out that course to Portal and start drawing extra cards. So, okay, have to do that. Remove swamp. The island from the list, so I know about 4 cards in his hand. Could have drawn another counter spell. It's always an option. I'm gonna run out this coercive portal right now. If he doesn't have a counter spell, that thing's gonna help me take over the game. He does not. So that's good. We'll just keep getting in there for little chunks with my Mesmeric Fiend. Yeah, this coercive portal should help me out a lot. That's a guy. I'm gonna paralyze it, but it is a guy. Let's hope I can draw some cards. So he's played another swamp. So I know about Expunge, Scourge Familiar, and whatnot. So I'm gonna give him an expunge target here in the form of this thing, I guess. I mean, I don't really like giving him an expunge target, but it'll get the card out of his hand. Not that I have any other really worthwhile targets for it, so whatever. So now he has to actually figure out whether or not he pays that. He doesn't. Played another one of those, so he's going to run out the Scourge Familiar. Sure, so I know he has Expunge, and that's about it. And he has a 3/2 on the field. Homage. So, alright. Run out another land. Swing with those. Give that guy Shadow. Smack him for a chunk. And then run out Dothy Mercenary and Fallen Ascari. We're just going all in on him. He might untap his guy here because of how much pressure I'm applying now. Yep. Alright. Figure I'm applying enough pressure now that he has to actually start reacting to it. Okay, that's an interesting one. So he's going to get in for a little bit. And I'm going to get back in at him. More homage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can pump that guy twice. I think it's still worth it to play the land because then I can give this guy Shadow still too. Okay, so we'll see after his blocks how much life he's going to have. Sure, so he's giving that guy Shadow, which I guess makes sense. It'll block this thing, or it'll trade with this. So I'm block there. So he's currently taking 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm just going to pump this guy all the way so that my Tyrant's Choice, if I can resolve it next turn, just kills him. Boom. So Tyrant's Choice is now lethal versus him. So we'll have to see what he opts to do. Okay, that's fine. Yep. So I know he has Expunge up. Oh, Homage. Oh, well that works out perfectly. Mesmeric Fiend, let me see what you got. You got any answers to this Tyrant's Choice, buddy? No? Cool. Tyrant's Choice, you lose? Because we are going to torture you to death. Torture! Torture. Tortured. Alright. So far, so good. Kind of blew through him there. I don't know if we're going to need the Benevolent Bodyguards versus him or not. He seems like a deck which the Ankh would want to come in versus. He has Shadow guys, so these guys aren't quite as perfect, but they're still pretty good. Probably going to just take out the Phantom Nomads for Benevolent Bodyguards. I'll leave the Paralyze in, I'll take out the 1 Escari for this. Or actually, no, I'll leave the Escari in. I'll go down to 15 lands again. I think that was fine for me the one time. Just because of how tight my deck runs. This seems pretty good. I can get up to like 3 or 4 lands and then just drop the Ankh and just go, yeah, you enjoy playing lands. Oh, that's nice. Swamp, Sarcomancy, Step, no, Step will be turn 3. So, with that, even if our, okay, he's gonna power sync that? Sure, okay. So that way it's like, even if he loses, he's still won. And he won 1 match already, so I mean, in the 4-3-2-2, that's not something to be thought of as badly. Oh, he needs another land. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go Swamp, Fallen Ascari. Then next turn, Seclude, Step, Fallen Ascari, and then turn after, Dothy Mercenary. Well, as soon as I hit these 4 lands on the field, I'm going to want to run out the Ankh, so. Okay. Or maybe I run out the Ankh now. No, we'll do it after we've hit these land drops. So, blue-black and blue-black were my first 2 matches. This one's definitely a more controlling deck, where the other one was definitely a tempo deck. That thing's a nuisance, but this gets through it. I'm gonna run that out. So, I mean, this doesn't get through it, but it trades with it if he wants to trade it. I don't think he does. So now I'm gonna go Emissary, Ankh. Enjoy. Take 2. He's like 5 pro. Skirk familiar. Alright. Probably just sits back because that will get in otherwise. He doesn't want it to get in. I'm going to take 2 myself. And then I'm going to play 1 of these. And we're going to swing with this. Guess I could have left the land back in hand, but it didn't really matter to me, I don't think. Okay, he just keeps playing lands, which is fine by me. I mean, it means he gets some big cards out, but he's going to lose life every time he gets big cards out, so. If he does like Famine or something, that actually works out fine for me, because I still have a Dothy Mercenary in the background, and that's big. That is big. gains flying first strike or trample. Whew! That thing is big. I'm gonna run out another Dothy Mercenary and then swing with this one and pump it. See if he's willing to discard his last card to trade him out. He's debating it. Nope. Alright, take an extra one. So we have 4 power that can get in next turn. The Ankh will keep him from playing land, really and truly. I mean, he might still play him, but the Flowstone Sculpture is going to be a pain because he can just give it like flying and then make it a 5/5 flyer. Have a 2-turn clock on me. Which point then I have to figure out what exactly I'm doing. If he just swings with the Sculpture, I'll block it with my Sultari Emissary because I don't care at that point. If he does not activate its ability for us to give it flying. Okay, this thing can go into the bus. I mean, he can give it trample, right? No? He doesn't even want to give it trample? Okay, whatever. His choice. Ooh, that's pretty decent. So we'll get in there with all of these. Sure, give you guys shadow. Whichever one you block, I will just pump once. Okay, so we go pump. And I'll still pump this too. Make it so I get in for a little bit more damage. So next turn, I have the ability to take him down into Tyrant's Choice range. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna play his own Dothy Mercenary, which makes it so I can't take him into Tyrant's Choice range. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we gotta run our Dothy Mercenary into his Dothy Mercenary, then play Dothy Mercenary Sultari Trooper. Okay, so they'll trade out. Merc. And if he has a counterspell, I still have this, which puts him down into that range too. Okay, and that. That way I also get around Chainer's Edict too. Which he almost, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He almost has the mana to flashback too. Although he'd have to play a land to do it, which would mean I'd still be able to kill him with the Tyrant's Choice, so. Alright, our opponent is debating. Alright, there we go. I wish I had pulled a Mox Emerald. That would have been awesome. Oh well, whatever. What does our opponent opt to do here? Because he has to play around Tyrant's Choice since he knows that it killed him last time. And Ankh Mishra means if he plays a land, he goes into Tyrant's Choice range. He's in an awkward position. Fact or fiction? Well, you can have famine, land, or stuff. I don't really care. At this point, none of those really save him. So, yeah. And he doesn't have, he has, yeah, so he's Famine, Skywing Haven, and a card. If at that mana, the card could be Power Sink for 1, which doesn't get there. He probably doesn't have a Shadow Guy, so he's thinking he's just dead to those things as well, which is more than feasible as well. The Ankh Mishra was able to get in 6 damage against him, I think, which is pretty good for me. Alright, good game. Alright, and that was round 2, everyone. See you in the finals.